Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Welcome to IQ, Illuminating Quran. My name is Sahar Rizk. I hope everyone is doing well. Today we're going to start Surah Al-Baqarah, inshallah. We'll try to do verse 1 to 7, which is the first section. Now, Surah Al-Baqarah was the 87th chapter, and it was revealed in Medina. And it's the longest surah in Quran. It has 286 verses. Now, the sections that we're going to cover today is about 1 to 7. It's about Al-Muttaqin versus Al-Kafirun. So, Muttaqin are the people who God conscious versus the ones, Kafirun are the disbelievers or the ones that rejected the message of God. So, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم ألف لام ميم, known as muqatta'at or separated letters. That's muqatta'at is an Arabic word that means cut or separated letters, and you just read it the way it is. Alif is one letter, lam is one letter, M is one letter, mim is one letter. And they were none of the non-believers ever, or the followers or the non-believers asked or challenged about these letters. And they were not explained. Except one time in Surah Maryam, there's Kaf, He, Ya, Ain, Sad, and the followers noticed the prophets probably asked because the prophet's face changed a little bit. And they asked, what does this mean? And he said, the Prophet ﷺ, he said, I was just told that my whole descendant were assassinated. And in one of the videos, I told you guys about his favorite grandsons were, well, one was poisoned, but Hussein and all of his family and followers were assassinated on the way to Syria in Iraq. So that's the only time this was explained, but we don't know what this is. And if God wanted us to know, he would have had the Prophet ﷺ explain it to us. And also the Sharawi says huruf muqatta'at is the same thing, muqatta'at, disconnected, abbreviated. Now, some scientists put it together. They put together all the letters that started, all the abbreviated letters that started all the surahs, and they gave it a letter. They gave it a number, and rearranged and trying to come up with a code, but really, they struggle. They strive for knowledge. Mujahideen fil ilm. They're just the strive for knowledge, but this is knowledge that's not necessary because but I guess they had fun putting it together, but it didn't lead them anywhere. God knows what these letters mean. I'm very sure the Prophet ﷺ knows also, but he wasn't told to tell us. So, okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين. This is the book about which there is no doubt, a guidance for those conscious of Allah. Al-Muttaqeen. Taqwa or Al-Muttaqeen is conscious of Allah, are those who restrain their tongues or their tongue, hands, and heart from evil. And of course, La Raib, no doubt. A book that has zero inconsistencies. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون. Who believe in the unseen, establish prayers, and spend out of what we have provided for them. In Yusuf Ali, he said, any spending contributes to the well-being of others. And in Nasharawi, he says, infaq is not just charity. Infaq is actually anything that benefits the community. He said that sometimes God puts, we criticize people that always wanting to do different projects, but sometimes God puts that urge to do a project because he wants to help certain people. Because once you start the project, everybody benefits. The demolition people, the cement people, the cleanup people, everything, everyone benefits. Plumbing people. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والذين يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك وما أنزل من قبلك وبالآخرة هم يوقنون. And who believe in what has been revealed to you, O Muhammad, and what was revealed before you, and of the hereafter, they are certain in faith. Certain in faith is, or righteousness comes from sincere devotion to Allah. So al-mu'minun is the believers. وَالَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِمَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْكَ. Whatever was revealed to you, they believe. And all the books that came before you, all the prophets that came before you, they believe. And the hereafter, or the day of judgment, they yuqinun, they are certain in faith, unshakable faith, sincere devotion. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أولئك على هدى من ربهم وأولئك هم المفلحون. Those are upon right guidance from their Lord, and it is those who are successful. Al-muflihun. Successful in what? Successful at the end. They will be going to heaven instead of hellfire. And probably God will grant blessings during lifetime too. Prosperity comes from sharing the wealth for the well-being of your community. So, بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الذين كفروا سواء عليهم أأنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون. Indeed, those who disbelieve, it is all the same for them. Whether you warn them or do not warn them, they will not believe. Kufr, deliberate rejection. الذين كفروا, those who kafaru. Kufr is deliberate rejection of faith or disbelief. Causes disconnection with God, resulting in a lack of compassion and hardening of the hearts. No compassion. And in the end, you want to meet God with qalbun salim, a whole heart, not hardened, not broken, but a whole heart. So you always have to work on healing that heart and forgiving and kindness and compassion. ختم الله على قلوبهم وعلى سمعهم وعلى أبصارهم غشاوة ولهم عذاب عظيم. Allah has set a seal upon their hearts, upon their hearing, and over their vision is a veil, and for them is a great punishment. The penalty for deliberately resisting uh, the reasoning or good, kind of heartless or lacking concern for others. So if you keep resisting, eventually you will have lacking of concern for others. All right. Um, let's go ahead and do section 2, verses 8 to 20. And it's about al-munafiqun. This is the third type. So we have the mu'minun, and we have the ones who rejected the faith, and then the munafiqun are the ones hypocrites, deceptions. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ومن الناس من يقول آمنا بالله وباليوم الآخر وما هم بمؤمنين. Sorry. And of the people are some who say, we believe in Allah and the last day, but they are not believers. This verse is about hypocrites, and they don't really say what's in their heart. What they say is they meet the believers, they tell them we're believers, but in their heart it's the opposite. They're haters of Islam and the Prophet. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. They care more about the opinions of others than the opinions of themselves, which shows weaknesses. If you believe in yourself, doesn't matter what people say, it's as long as you're in sync with what you believe and what you say. So strong people would face their challenges by actually talking about it, debating it openly. But no, they don't reject, they're afraid, so they pretend to be a believer, and then while inside, they're not. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يخادعون الله والذين آمنوا وما يخادعون إلا أنفسهم وما يشعرون في قلوبهم مرض فزادهم الله مرضا ولهم عذاب أليم بما كانوا يكذبون. They think they're deceiving Allah and those who believe, but they deceive not except themselves and perceive it not. In their heart is a disease, so Allah has increased their disease. And for them is a painful punishment because they use it to lie. Hypocrite might deceive, but eventually, because of all the disconnect between what they're saying and what's in their heart, there's a disconnect in their logical and emotion, the sensory impairment. I looked it up. So we need a balance between what we reveal and what we actually believe in our heart, because that keeps a healthy heart. Other than that, then it increases the disease. And God will increase their disease in the heart. وإذا قيل لهم لا تفسدوا في الأرض قالوا إنما نحن مصلحون. And when it's said to them, do not cause corruptions on the earth, they say, we are but reformers, peacemakers. ألا إنهم هم المفسدون ولكن لا يشعرون. Unquestionably, it is they who are corrupters, and they perceive it not. Arrogance sometimes blinds us from seeing the true perceptions of the right and wrong. It's true. وإذا قيل لهم آمنوا كما آمن الناس قالوا أنؤمن كما آمن السفهاء ألا إنهم هم السفهاء ولكن لا يعلمون. And when it's said to them, believe as people have believed, they say, should we believe as the foolish have believed? Unquestionably, it is they who are the foolish, but they know it not. Hypocrites believe faith is foolish. And if you really read history, the first believers in Islam, they were not foolish. They were rich and powerful, leaders of the community. Abu Bakr and Ali, so these are powerful, rich leaders. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وإذا لقوا الذين آمنوا قالوا آمنا وإذا خلوا إلى شياطينهم قالوا إنا معكم إنما نحن مستهزئون. And when they meet those who believe, they say, we believe. So every time they see him, they say, we believe. When they are alone with the evil ones, they say, indeed, we are with you. We were only mockers. Now, insincerity of the hypocrites, like I said, what they say is not what's in their heart. They're creating false perceptions, being deceiving and misguided by their arrogance. They're openly rejecting the message and mocking believers. Now, it didn't say the believers are mocking them. Now it's God. الله يستهزئ بهم ويمدهم في طغيانهم يعمهون. But Allah mocks them and prolongs them in their transgression while they wander blindly. يعمهون. They're wandering blindly because not from vision, loss of vision, but because if they were blind, they would ask someone to help them, but it's intellectual and spiritual blindness or loss. They lose their intuition, their guidance. How we say that how God inspired Moses' mom to cast him in the river. When you believe, you have an open, you're open and receptive to intuition, and that's guiding you. That's one of the inspiration is one of the ayat, the signs that you look for. It's internal, in nature, and in the book, and in evidence. أولئك الذين اشتروا الضلالة بالهدى فما ربحت تجارتهم وما كانوا مهتدين. I'm sorry, the rain is so it's a big storm today. Those are the ones who have purchased misguidance in exchange for guidance. So their transaction has brought no profit, nor were they guided. The hypocrites, while they were being deceptive, they were hanging around believers. So they actually knew, they were listening to the same guidance from the prophets, but they chose to not believe. They rejected inwardly, rejected the right path. But at the end, it's not a profit. So they purchase misguidance with the guided path. So at the end, they lose even their themselves basically. It's like investing in stocks for your retirement, and instead of just losing the profit for that year, the market crash and you lose all of your retirement money. And I saw that a few years back. So not only do you lose the profit, but actually all all the money for your retirement. And that's exactly what munafiqun. مثلهم كمثل الذي استوقد نارا فلما أضاءت ما حوله ذهب الله بنورهم وتركهم في ظلمات لا يبصرون. Their example is that of one who kindled a fire, but when it illuminated what was around him, Allah took away their light and left them in darkness, so they could not see. Now, God gave the example because when the Prophet Muhammad came, he showed us the path. He illuminated in a period where there is no guidance. So he was the light. And the hypocrite, even the Jewish people knew he was coming. They asked for him. And when he came, they didn't believe. They didn't accept him. So he came and he shared his light, his message, but they rejected him, through deception, they rejected his guidance. So God took it away. He took the light away and left them in total darkness. La yubsurun. They could not see. They're lost. Summun bukmun umyun fahum la yarjaun. Deaf, dumb, and blind, so they will not return to the right path. Deception. They might fool people temporarily, but it does not last long because God will take their light away, leaving them deaf, dumb, and blind. Now, Allah takes their light away, leaving him deaf because they refused to listen, dumb because they did not speak what's in their heart, and blind because they did not look for God's signs in nature, rejecting God's guidance and lost the true direction to the point of no return. La yarjaun. Now there was the Al-Baqarah 7. Allah has set a seal upon their hearts and upon their hearings, and over their vision is a veil, and for them is a great punishment. So it's sealed, stamped. He stamped that they rejected, and he put a veil. There's no return. Nothing for them but great punishment. No more guidance for them. La yarjaun. There's no going back. There is no right path for them. You keep rejecting, God rejects you. I know, I don't know if I should um, share this, but on YouTube, there were one Christian YouTuber was telling a Mormon YouTuber. They were, I guess, they both left their whatever church they were teaching in, and because YouTube pays more. But they were talking about the power of YouTube, and they just finished launching an intensely focused campaign against Islam. They were bragging about it. And I was thinking, God definitely put a veil and sealed their heart because they are using the power of YouTube to mislead other followers from the right path. And the right path is our book. It's the instead of causing hatred, explore, or false propaganda, explore, read the book, learn something. Because the following day, the Mormon one, he falsely reported that as predicted yesterday, I already said it the previous day that Muslim terrorists are going to shoot 7 Christians in the heart. And today it happened. I saw it. If he really predicted that the day before and personally saw it the following day, he should have stopped it and saved those poor Christians. Truly a false statement and unsupported by any facts, but I guess that was part of the propaganda against Islam. So it's just not fair. Okay, sorry. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أو كصيب من السماء فيه ظلمات ورعد وبرق يجعلون أصابعهم في آذانهم من الصواعق حذر الموت والله محيط بالكافرين. Or it is like a rainstorm from the sky within which is darkness, thunder, and lightning. They put their fingers in their ears against the thunder claps in dread of death, but Allah encompassing all around of the disbelievers. This example, the darkness and lightning we see right before the storm, and the darkness come from the cloud shielding the sun, but necessary for the rain. And water sustains our life. We use it for soften the clay, water the animals, the plants, and mankind. And the thunder is loud. We will need, they were kind of أصابعهم في آذانهم. We don't really put the whole finger in, probably the tip of the finger, but I guess that's how loud it's going to be surrounding those who are kafirun, non-believers. Hypocrite rejection of Islam was due to their lack of patience or fear. They lack patience and endurance. Now, of course, Islam came and it has do's and don'ts. That's too much for them. They don't have patience for that. So they rejected Islam. Also, same as the storms, it brings water. And if you're just patient long enough, you'll get the benefits of the water that sustains our life. Same with guidance. It puts you on the right path, and at the end, it saves you from hellfire. يكاد البرق يخطف أبصارهم كلما أضاء لهم مشوا فيه وإذا أظلم عليهم قاموا ولو شاء الله لذهب بسمعهم وأبصارهم إن الله على كل شيء قدير. The lighting almost snatches away their sight, every time it lights the way for them, they walk therein. But when the darkness come over them, they stand still. And if Allah has willed, He could have taken away their hearing and their sight. Indeed, Allah is over all things competent. He could have taken, he said, He could have taken. If Allah willed, He could have taken. But He didn't take it away because He wants them responsible. He leaves their senses to take the choices because there's they don't want to, He doesn't want them to use that as an excuse. Responsible to the end. All right, I think I'm going to stop here. Inshallah, next time we'll go over section 3. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, take good care of yourselves. Thank you, everyone.